Welcome to the Real Tech Talk podcast, peoples, where your host, EBreezy, is back on the ones and twos. Here we go. We're going to be interviewing technologists to find out what they're creating is real or it's fake, whether it's changing the way I build and develop or it's not. I got Zohar Goshen. You got to tune in, you got to listen up, and we're going to be doing it every 2 weeks. So get on board and let's get busy. That's why we're here, bro. This is Real Tech Talk. Boom shakalaka. So who the hell are you, bro? You know, what are you into? What do you do? Yo, you can keep it real here. Tell me about these real estate players.
Eric Brody is the managing principal of CEMVC LLC. All opinions expressed by Eric and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of CEMVC LLC. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions. Clients of CEMVC LLC may maintain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
All right, this week, Real Tech Talk Tizzle's back with your host, Eric Brody. So what happened in what happened in PropTech this week? This is what I heard. 560 million raised, median of 5 million. So my point is PropTech is still on fire. Now, to my audience who sees this on YouTube, you may see me in a jacket. And that's today because my guest deserves a jacket. We have a serious gentleman who's going to talk a little bit about his past, which we'd love to hear, but he deserves a jacket, although he's not wearing one, but I'm putting one on for you, sir. So everybody welcome my guest, Zohar Goshen. Zohar, how are you, kind sir?
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Yeah? You feel good?
Yeah.
You know, Zohar was telling me there's a big parade outside, and he was caught in traffic, and I said, yo, we're in New York City, bro. You should have been jogging here, city biking it on the train. I mean, why are we actually driving, bro? Welcome to New York City. All right, let's get right into it. So Zohar, first and foremost, tell us a little bit about your background because I think it is fascinating. And then we'll talk about what you're doing in PropTech, what solution you're trying to provide. So boom, give us a little bit of background.
Sure. So I'm a professor of law at Columbia Law School. And
we won't hold that against you.
All right, thanks. where I specialize in corporate law, corporate finance, corporate governance, securities regulation. And alongside my academic career, I did a lot of practice. Among other things, I was the chairman of Israel's SEC.
Oh, shit. So if anyone's trading stocks right now in Israel, please, you better be careful. This man is listening.
So it was a challenging time. It was during the financial crisis of 2008 when, as you know, all stock exchanges were collapsing. So it was really a fascinating time to be the chairman of the Israeli SEC.
So obviously you're a highly educated, super professional gentleman. So tell me, how the hell did you get into the hustle of PropTech?
Among other things that I did, I was also a director in one of the big Israeli banks. I was there 5 years on their credit committee, and I got to know the way the credit is being provided to the commercial real estate space.
Which means, just to my audience, you were the party that would say, am I going to give you a loan? What's backing up this loan? Does it have the value, and how much of a loan I'm going to give? That's what a credit committee is basically doing, correct?
Exactly, yeah. So the credit committee at the level of the board would normally deal with the really big deals, while the smaller deals will be dealt with lower committees and with the loan officers.
So which were you, the lower end or the big dog?
I was at the board of directors level.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and for me, like thinking through difficult questions and trying to find an answer and make the answer work, it's something that I feel is the same for me in the academia. I get a difficult question, then you write an article to find a solution to that. As a regulator, you see a problem in the market, a difficult question, what should be the solution for that, and how to execute that. At the SEC, I was managing hundreds of people in order to make sure that this operation will work to achieve the result that you want. And for me, the same thing is here with the business activities, to identify the problem and then think through the problem, what's going to be the best solution for that, and then execute. So that's how I find myself. I see all of these with great synergy: academia, regulation, business.
So what did you identify? So let's get down to tachas, they said, right? I think the Yiddish, the Hebrew, don't quote me on it. So what did you identify? What was the problem that you had seen that you thought that technology could resolve?
So if you think about the way financing CRE, commercial real estate, is done, So on one hand, you would have the sponsor or the borrower, the one who's building the building or renovating the building. Okay.
The one who's starting the business, the one who's creating the business plan and saying, I'm going to take the risk taker, the entrepreneur.
Exactly. Okay. Let's say it in short. You.
You're right. It turns out that is me.
Yeah, you. That's what you do. Okay. So that's part. And then on the other hand, on the other end of this, you would have the people who are willing to give loans to the entrepreneur. Okay, so
I usually like to call it that famous artist, that painting, the businessman with the bowler hat with the apple in his face. That's how I would see the other side, the use. You all look the same to me.
So the lenders are normally banks, okay, if you are taking a mortgage which is fairly secured. Or sometimes when the loan is a bit more risky, there will be private lenders who are going to give you more risky loans.
Oh, so you're saying in the market for capital, it isn't just a bank. There's private lenders, there's hard money down to the level of a straight up gangster, right? I mean, these are people willing to lend you money. So at the top end, you're saying banks and insurance companies, and on the not lower end, the next level is a private lender or maybe a private equity fund. So all these people on the debt side willing to give you capital, there's a few of them. So that's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there are thousands of them, each one with different criteria on which type of project they are willing to lend.
So they have a pool of capital and they have a business plan as well, right?
Yeah.
And for instance, multifamily in San Francisco, construction lending in Tennessee. I mean, they have all of these protocols, right? I'm assuming. I mean, you're in those meetings. I'm not.
Yes. So you can think someone says, I'm not lending for construction. Someone will say, yes, I'm happy to lend for construction, but I would finance only construction of multifamily, but not office and not a hotel.
Got it.
Someone else will say, hotel, this is exactly what we like to do. We prefer hotels over. So each one has its own criteria, what type of deals they would like to finance, given their expertise in analyzing the risk involving giving that loan. Okay.
So for their side, it's a risk question. My side is like, I already have the deal, give me the money.
Exactly.
So for their side, it's a straight up risk.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So for they would look, can we understand what Eric is doing? Can we evaluate whether Eric is going to be successful in marketing the project that he's building, whatever that project is? So the lenders, they sort themselves according to these criteria to do that.
Cool.
Okay?
Got it.
So how would the entrepreneur, the borrower, or the sponsor finds the right lender for their deal? Okay. Well, if it's a simple deal, straightforward, he would go to the local bank, which he usually work with, and he will get.
So Avenue 1, walk in the bank, you have a rapport with the bank, you just go in.
Exactly. Yes, but many others, they will use brokers, mortgage brokers for commercial real estate.
So there are guys out there whose job it is to make these matches.
Exactly. So their work is they would work with you to analyze what's your needs, and then they will go to their firm, they will prepare an underwriting materials and marketing materials, and then they will go and see which one is the right lender.
And they make a fee as a result of that, right? To make these shidduch or these partnerships, they're making a fee as these transactions occur.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the fees could range between 0.5% to 3%, depending on the type of the loan that you're taking. But they have systems in which they are trying, called capital market, a system in which they have, let's say, some CRM, some let's say Salesforce or to make it simple, think that you have an Excel list of hundreds of
and it's just straight up picking up a call, making a call.
And then trying to call, they try to see who is the right lender to do that.
Relationships.
Exactly.
They know them from wherever, take them out, whatever it is. It's relationship driven.
Exactly. So a big broker will have thousands on their list. A smaller broker will have few hundreds on their list, and they will have to keep update because people move from one bank to another bank. People move from an insurance company to a private lender, whatever.
And that means the developer or the entrepreneur is also responsible for knowing who's the best debt equity guy in that marketplace. So they, it's a game that's forever changing. Seems somewhat inefficient.
Exactly. So they have to update all that. It's very labor intensive. Then they have to figure out ways how to search through the Excel to find the right lender in that. Start emailing them, making phone calls, and trying to figure out who's yes, yes, who's no.
All right, so you identified this inefficiency.
Yeah, so
which I agree, by the way. When you go out there, right, from a personal experience, they're sending you a document in Excel, and you're like, I heard of this bank over here. I heard of this guy over there. Where is he on your list? Oh, thank you so much for informing me, right? So there's this inefficiency, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if some dude in Alaska is like, I want deals in New York, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Germany is now interested. I don't know anything about that. I just know about what I hear within which trade magazine. I'm not getting the entire market. I know that.
Exactly. So think in terms of the following terms. On one hand, as a broker, you would like to expand your reach. If you have 200, you want 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have 2,000, you want 4,000.
Of
Okay.
course.
So that's the first thing. Why would you do that? Because if you work, for example, in New York and you know Eric, you can do the deal. But someone calls you from Miami, you don't know anyone in Miami. So you would cooperate with
so you're saying the broker themselves start to lose deals because they can't be everywhere at all places, knowing all things in any moment.
Exactly. So they will cooperate with the broker from Miami, and they split the fee and
give away money.
Give away money.
Because it was their relationship, it was their people who came in, but
Exactly.
they still don't have the expertise.
Yeah. Or they are in New York, they specialize in multifamily, they already know the banks that do that, and now they got construction of an office building.
Got it.
Who's the right lender? Even in New York, they don't know who that is.
Right.
Okay? They don't have the relationship. Okay. So that's a big problem to create this fit between lenders and loans. That's what you want to do. You want to make it easier to match the lenders with the loans. And the way we do that is using large database of lenders.
So now we're getting into what you've solved for the company. So first and foremost, what's the name of it?
bips.
Bips.
So bips, the name that we picked because it's specialized in debt, and the professionals know
Basis points.
Basis points.
Wow, look at me.
Yeah,
Not even an acronym, but I figured it out. Look at that. Okay.
So bips,
Which is a slang term in the business for basis points, which is basically interest rate,
interest
right?
rate. It's like percentage of interest rate.
Gotcha.
Yes, yeah. So that's how they speak. If you get a loan which is lower with 50 basis points or higher 50 basis points.
50 bips.
50 bips, exactly.
I might have to use that slang from now on.
All right. The second thing is...
Because I don't have enough being from New York. I need more.
And the second thing is that BIP's supposed to signal the fact that now you will be using an AI machine, a sophisticated computer. And you can think in terms of bips, okay? So to think that when you get a text message on your iPhone, so make the sound of the bips, so you know you are basically communicating with the computer. So we wanted to create these two.
Okay. I see these. So you're saying dual meeting. One is you're getting when you get a buzz on your phone or whatever, as well as it works with basis points. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yes.
All right. I like the name. It's cool.
Yeah.
I
Thanks.
could see it in lights. See it on the train. I don't know. I can see it.
Yeah. So this is so the way we think about solving this problem is the following. Okay. So we have huge database, tens of thousands of lenders,
And that's based on your existing relationships, scraping data, I assume, trying to create that side, the entire marketplace on that side, the debt side.
Yes, exactly. So now, we created very sophisticated algorithm, and the algorithm would allow you to say what loan you need, and the algorithm knows to find with this huge database who is the right lender for your loan. Okay, so the whole work of trying to update your Excel,
Right.
trying to search through that, no more.
Right.
Okay? So you push a button, the system knows, and they will bring you the lenders that are the best for you. And what we did it as simple as possible, without forms, without very complex commitments and complex work. It's very easy. It's a mobile app on your iPhone. You simply text what you want. You say, I want $20 million construction loan for an office building in Alabama. Push the button. That's it. That's all you need to do. Algorithm reads your message. AI machine brings you up a list of the top 20 lenders. You see who they are. That's many others who use matching system don't let you know who gets your message.
Gotcha.
Here you will know exactly. You will see the list. You see 20 people on your list. And you say, okay, this one I like, this one I don't like. The one that you like, you simply swipe, and everyone that you swiped will get your text message.
So you're empowering the entrepreneur
I'm entirely
and creating a perfect marketplace
The-
in that moment for that deal.
Exactly. So the people on the other side gets the message. They reply to you. It's a hot lead. You can talk to them. They already indicated they are interested.
But then there's all the, like you were saying before, when you're at the SEC, you still got to underwrite it. You still got to give information, but at least the introduction is there for you in somewhat of like a perfect marketplace. In that moment, for what you're looking for, at least you can have some control over this amount of banks or alternative lenders who are interested.
Exactly.
Which can either empower you, if you have a debt equity broker and understanding the terms, right, just to bounce it off of them, right?
Yeah.
Or direct.
Exactly. So think about that, for example, from the broker perspective. Imagine that instead of holding all the capital market team to update the Excel, you simply text your CRM and ask the CRM directly with text message, give me the answer. Instead of using your CRM, you get our database. That's so on the one hand, it will democratize the access to finance, both to small lenders and directly to the sponsors and the borrowers. On the other hand, even for the big brokers, for them, you simply save a lot of effort and expense to update their database and keep chasing the right lenders for their deal. Even with them when
and you're even just, if your time is limited, obviously, right? At least in creating that marketplace, they still need the relationship. They still need to understand the deal. But they may have expanded to 5 or 7 more opportunities within an instant, right?
Exactly.
Just that the actual labor of picking up a phone, or it's already done for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so I get it.
Yes.
Okay, so now tell me, well, how do you make money from that? So what is the model of your business?
Okay, so the first thing we do, we basically tell the market, we update the list in the most sophisticated way because the machine learning keeps learning in real time whatever a lender is doing.
Right, it's in their best interest to let the machine know. They're going to get access to the market.
And even if they don't let you know, the machine sees to whom you responded. You responded to this deal, you responded to this deal, and it collects this data and improves the match.
I gotcha. So it gets better and better.
Over the time, it will get better and better and better by looking on actual actions. Okay, that's the part that it's really important to understand. That's the core.
It gets better and better with more and more data. Gotcha.
Exactly.
As more and more usage, it gets more and more accurate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this question that you asked was, what's the business model?
Yeah.
Okay. So the business model has several layers. The first layer is subscription. Very cheap. $400 for a year. Okay? And you get your own access to the database. You will get the lenders which fit your deal.
Which already has the value, right? You're not hitting the whole market. So for the $400, who gives a shit? You should do it, right?
Exactly.
Like they should also experiment. Like, what's the big deal?
Exactly.
Right?
So $400 is supposed to be very cheap and give access to everyone. If you are a small broker, big broker, doesn't matter. You have access to the database and to the algorithm, and you get all the benefits from that. But then there are additional layers of premium services and data services. Okay, so think about premium services that you can get. You want to know which bank in Alabama now provide the lowest rate for multifamily. You can ask the machine. And
so market data in general, just in having a conversation with the client or whatever, having your own data points.
Exactly. So you will know, you can use the data to indicate changes in pricing, changes in trends, performance of personnel. A lot of data that you can get from the fact that everyone is communicating over your system, which is extremely valuable, and you can sell it as a premium service.
Got it.
The third layer is marketing for third parties. Let's say you have a company that developed a system for automating underwriting of CRE.
Perfect.
I can get you to someone who is actually in a deal. So this is like you get the marketing at the hottest moment you can imagine. That someone is already in a deal, they want to do the deal, and you market to that person. So we will be able to provide marketing for banks, for lenders, for people who provide third-party reports, people who provide underwriting, whatever the service that the CRE transaction is using, you will be able to provide marketing services, and that's a third layer for the business model.
So that's dope. I get it. So tell me though, where do you stand with all this? You know, where are you seed? Are you A? Are you going public? Are you SPAC? You know, where do you stand? Does the technology exist? Are you out there in the market? Let us know, you know, what's going on with bips in the moment.
Okay, so we started this year, and we are building the MVP. And
What's the acronym for my audience?
Most valuable product.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was most valuable player, personally. But now,
Yeah,
now I'm in
yeah.
tech. I know it's most valuable product. Okay.
Okay, most valuable product. Meaning, you cannot go out to the market with all the features that you envision for your product.
Okay.
But you take the basic service that you want to offer, and you start working with it, and then you add additional features to the. For example.
So that was your own money.
Yeah. So
To
that's
get to this moment where you're
so-
at this MVP, that was your cash.
It was pre-seed financing.
Pre-seed, gotcha.
Yes, okay, so by the end of this month, the MVP of bips will go live.
Wow.
We are very excited.
You better be.
This
is the moment,
Oh,
right?
man,
This is
yeah.
where Machiavelli says the effective truth. It's either a
Exactly,
go,
exactly.
no go, baby.
Exactly. So, and we are very, very optimistic, and because we sort of surveyed the market before we did that, like at least 50, 60 brokers that we had conversation with, and they all were very excited to have something like this on their iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it's a no-brainer. It just
Yeah.
has to work, right?
Yeah, so now, basically, the things that we are looking on, so you have one feature, which is the match, the algorithm, which we know works, okay? We tested that and we know it works. The second one, which is now will be tested real life, it's the ability of the machine to read text. Okay, the machine needs to get professional in reading CRE text, CRE finance text, okay? And this one is less tested, and that would be part of the
That's
MVP.
super interesting that you said that because, people are assuming PropTech is like completely based on technology in the real estate sector of property, commercial, and construction. And what you're stating, so my audience realizes is you're building off of other technologies that exist that were applied elsewhere. Like one of them, you're like, there's technology that can read texts. We're not sure. It needs to learn the vocabulary of CRE. It's really interesting. Just as like a thought, you got to get better in understanding what's really bringing it up to creating bips.
Exactly. So sometimes someone writes, I want to finance construction, and someone writes, I don't want to finance construction.
Right.
So the negative from the machine perspective is very complex to identify the negative from the positive. It looks for the word construction.
Right.
Okay, so is it yes construction, no construction? So it takes time for the machine to learn that.
Okay.
And that's the part which is part of the MVP that once we get all these text messages, the machine will get better and better. We will know how to improve it very fast. Okay, but that's the aspect of the project that I would say is.
So what's the goal? This month we launch. Yes. How do you know, what is it? It's May.
Yeah.
How do you know, or what is your first goal? Is it June for X amount of people using it? July? How did you create your metrics for what is going to be success for you?
So I would say that if we will reach a rate of about...
now be careful, because we're going to, in July, my people are going to start texting in, how's our boy Zohar doing?
Yeah,
I want to be like, he's
course.
hitting his metrics, so tell me.
So we believe that between 100 and 200 per month of new user downloading the app,
awesome,
it's going to be success.
Okay. All right, so I got two questions for you. Is anyone in this space right now competing with you? And then the second one is, what's like the number one friction right now? When you resolve that, you think you're smooth, right? And I know then the next issue comes up, but what's like number one? So one is their competition, and then two, what's the biggest issue you're worried about right now?
So the competition that you alluded to, there are no mobile apps. Okay, they are all web-based apps, and they are first very complex to use because they require a lot of commitment. You have
Which is the biggest resistance.
Yeah,
learning this new language is like the worst.
Yeah, you have to use forms. You have to upload documents. You
got to know where to hit the button to do the thing. Like everyone's like, it's so easy. We have this great solution, but every time you're trying to figure out whether it's project management software, you have to relearn a language, and no one wants to. Yeah. That's just facts.
Exactly. So I'm telling you, forget about it. Just text what you want.
So you made it super simple.
Super simple. Okay. So some of them use only rule-based. They don't use really machine learning. So they have to do the update manually.
Gotcha.
They have to go and update that all the time. Some of them operate as brokers.
So they're sort of powered by this
they're
software,
powered by this,
not
others.
They're not giving it to others.
Exactly. Some of them act as lenders.
Mm-hmm.
They are the actual lender using that. Some of them, when you type what you want, you don't know who gets your message.
Right.
They will tell you, okay, wait until someone will respond.
Right.
But you have no control on who got your message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we give you the list. You know exactly who's going. You pick who would get.
Well, I think the simplicity and the perfect marketplace. So that's your advantage, and you're saying it's an app.
Yes.
So what's the biggest problem that you have right now, or friction? I love how the industry can't say, yo, what's the issue? What's the fucking problem, right? No. What is your friction, sir?
Okay. So what we anticipate? Okay. So we anticipate the brokers will join fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
We anticipate the private lender will join fairly easily. And we anticipate there's going to be friction in how we can get the loan officers from the banks to participate. That's what.
So the independents.
The independents,
they come on, right? But
yes.
what about if you build enough rapport in that space? Like the lender will follow, but
Yeah,
not to focus on them.
Okay, but so once they can see that it's working, they will come. But you ask me where do I see? So substantial part of the funds we want to raise is for marketing and sales, exactly to overcome this problem. Very important aspect of that. Even though banks is very hard to penetrate, everyone that is selling to banks will tell you.
Is that for regulation?
For regulation, so
they're always concerned you're doing something shady.
No, they have legitimate concerns of cybersecurity and other products. No, not shady, but they are very bureaucratic. Sometimes the sales cycle can take a year.
And by the way, I'm hearing that like in PropTech, and the reason for the absorption issue is just how like stuck in the existing ways they are as technology is changing around them. That's the very point of this podcast. It's like you're now saying it. You're like, the bank should understand that this is efficient, but they have such a bureaucratic process that it slows everything down. Like you're ducking and moving and changing the game, and they're still like moving like a robot, right?
Exactly. I completely agree with you. So sales cycle is very long.
Yeah.
The process is very bureaucratic. It's called a third-party vendor. It can take a year until you get permission as a loan officer to get some software on your screen of computer.
Right.
Now, what we did, we basically say, forget about the bank.
Right.
It's on your iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
So on one hand, you sort of cut out all the bureaucracy, make it very simple. You don't need any third-party vendor or whatever. You can text and receive text whatever you want.
And it's your phone, right? The bank didn't give you the phone, right?
Exactly.
So on the DL, you should download it, get deals, and then you go to the bank, and they're wondering why you're the man or woman or however you identify. And then all of a sudden, you're like, by the way, I'm using this software. Okay. So maybe you come up sort of guerrilla marketing instead of needing the CEO of the bank downloading it.
Yes.
All right,
so
cool.
So the downside of it, I told you what's the upside of it.
Right.
The downside of it, that the loan officer needs to pay the $400. Okay, so now either he or she will go to the bank and say, give me a refund for the $400, or they will say, it will improve my performance such that the bonuses I'm going to get, the $400 is peanuts. Forget about that.
By the way, can I tell you that that's a problem with that loan officer then? Like, if you're an entrepreneur, there's a level of risk. If a part of your salary is based on the amount of deals or deal flow in order to go to a bonus group, whoever their structure is, unless they're straight salary, then you're right. You got to take some risk. And for $400 to just see, I mean, to me, that resistance, it would be an issue with that person. You wouldn't even want them using it.
Yeah, but we do want them to use the platform.
But I don't like that dude already, or person, or whatever. That guy needs to go get another job.
We want them to use it, and it's important for us that they will feel that they're getting benefit because they get their work in screening deal is dramatically dropped because you get only the deals that fits your criteria.
And what's interesting, too, is they're not motivated by a fee, right? That business is motivated by a fee. You're motivated by users using it and collecting data.
Exactly.
You're not competing with that fee. You're not disrupting how that's paid. You're just trying to empower. I like that.
Yes.
So, you know what I always like to do? So I get it. I think you're like one of the clearest people to identify what it is that they're solving and what's happening, which is pretty cool. Tell me something about you. So you're in Colombia speaking, right? You are, oh, by the way, I was going to tell you before I get into this, there's a song by Eminem that he did in 8 Mile, this movie, where it's like, lose yourself in the moment. Like, this is your moment, right? So it's very exciting, right? People don't understand the humanity behind it. You've created something. You've taken this risk. You put it together. This month, in 30 days, you're saying whether it's going to work. Most humans don't even step up to take the moment to find out if that they're actually creating something. So I commend you. I mean, we're all entrepreneurs sitting in this room, but that's amazing. And I think the humanity of that people don't really recognize. This is the risk. This month, Zohar's going for it. What are you doing to ever go for it? That's besides the point. So tell me this. What do you do now? Columbia law professor, technologist. What do you do on the other side to sort of stay sane and to like enjoy yourself? Tell us something about you that you would want us to know.
Okay. I love very much soccer. When I was young.
So it's football.
Okay, so football and soccer. I think the American took the wrong road. Think about it. You have players. Only one of them kicks the ball.
Yeah.
The ball doesn't even look like a ball.
This is something I feel like it's been on your mind for a while.
It looks more like an egg shape than a ball. Okay. So like the one, and the whole game is like throwing the ball with your hand. And then there is another game which everyone is kicking the ball, and only the goalie can use the hands. And that one is called soccer. The other one is called football.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So you like soccer?
I like soccer
and football. What part of it? Playing it? Watching it?
No. So now I used to play it a lot. I love to play it. Now I play only with my son. He's 11 years old. So we'll go to the park and we play some soccer. I'm watching games.
Which league?
I watch the La Liga, and I'm a big fan of Barcelona. I watch Premier League. I'm a big fan of Tottenham. And now that Messi moved to Paris Saint-Germain, I watch the games of Paris Saint-Germain as well.
So getting some fitness through soccer and watching it is a release for you.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, for me, it's like a quiet moment.
So my last question, because this is the Real Tech Talk podcast, what's your ask? What do you need from me, if anything?
So we are planning on launching and then start the fundraising campaign. Okay, when we will be going through seed round. In the seed round, we are going to ask something between $2 and $5 million. The valuation is, as you know, it's all in the air now with what's happening in the market. But we are hoping that we can get the valuation of $10 million.
Awesome. So listen, I really, appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting about it. I think you're onto something huge, and I think it's just a matter of watching and then updating my audience as to how successful it turned out to be. So thank you so much for coming on Real Tech Talk, brother. All right?
Thank you for inviting me. You are very generous with your wishes and your perspective. I enjoyed very much. It was fun. I came here. I was a bit tense, but it was...
Next time I'll beat the shit out of you. It's all good. All right, brother. Thank
you so much.
You got it. Now, we just had my wonderful guest, Zohar Goshen. Now, if you listen to that man, I'm not sure I've met a more credible party ever on this podcast. He is an absolutely incredible human being in what he's done in the past. Does that mean that what he does in the future will work? We don't know. But each podcast, what we're stating is that we're going to decide whether we're going to invest or not. And I got to tell you, for this one, I don't know. I think what's so incredible about what he's doing is that he really identified something. He created a simple solution, but there's no annual recurring revenue. Is it a business yet? There's no real thing to invest in, right? We're not investing angel, pre-seed, pre-running a business. We're saying you've already up and running, and we're going to give you that spark plug boost to go forward. So with this one, I'm watching it. But if in June, July, he comes back and he's hitting his metrics, man, then it's a different game. And then I think I'm putting my money where my big mouth is. All right, we'll keep you informed. We'll keep you posted. We'll follow up. Talk soon, player. What would a podcast be without a shameless plug? Listen up, we just started. We're out there. I need you to find the podcast. I need you to promote the podcast. I need you to tell your friends, your family, your enemies about the podcast. I need you to go on YouTube. I need you to 5-star it. I need you to smash the like button. Send it out to your friends and family. Let's go. Let's blow this podcast up. We're reaching crazy audiences. Contractors are reaching out. Friends and family are reaching out. And I need you to reach out. So come on through. Love to see you. Love to hear your comments, by the way. Tell me what's up. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't. This is an interactive experience. All right? So see you soon, peeps.